Hello, we are from International Scientific Research and Publications. In this video, I am going to explain how to read a research paper effectively, and this will help you to save your valuable time and help you to write a good research paper. Let's get into the video. Okay, I had taken an example of a research article which is previously published. So, for reading a research paper, you have to start with the first thing, which is the title. The title is the one phrase thing in which you can able to get the complete idea of the research paper, in which you can continue to read or you have to skip that research paper. So, first we have to select a proper title of the research paper, and the title must be related to the research article which you are going to write. If your title is perfect and if it relates your research article, and you have to go to the next step, and the next part is the introduction. An introduction will explain you about the complete idea of a research article which you are going to read. Before going into the literature review is nothing but a complete analysis of a research article. But this introduction is a short summary of the research article which you are going to read, which will help you to get an idea and you can conclude that you may read this research article or not. So, I think this is the most important part in this research article. If you are having a perfect knowledge in research article and you may no need to read the introduction, you can go to the abstract. Abstract is nothing but which will explain you the complete analysis of the research article. But I will always prefer you to start with the introduction, so which will get you a complete idea to read about the research article and which will help you to analyze the abstract completely. And the next step is the title and main title or subtitle of the research article, which will give you the complete outline of the research article. From this, you can able to know that how a research article is completely organized. And the one most important thing is you have to forget about the mathematical part before going into the previous stages. These stages will only help you to get the outline and the content of the research article what you are reading. And the next thing is the literature review, like this. So, in this content, you may have to ask two questions about you and the previous researchers, what the previous researchers had done, and you have to mention that thing in this content. Every researcher should write a literature review after the introduction. And in this content, you can also mention the implications and the limitations of the previous researchers for what researchers had done, and what are you going to do. And if you are struggling with a problem in your research paper, and this content will help you to analyze that, you can move on to the next process, whether it may be helpful to solve your problem or not. If you are still selected and decided to move on ahead, and the next step is the methodology. Using these methods, you can able to find what are the tools and instruments used in this process. You can able to easily find it out, and you can able to analyze the purposes of these instruments used in this research. If any experiments have been performed, first thing you have to see how they are performed. So, using these methods, you can able to analyze the steps and process of that methods. After analyzing all the key points, you have to move on to the next step, which is results and discussions. The result can be in the form of graphs, charts, illustrations, etc. We have to examine the results and we have to see the discussion part also, where you can able to see the comparative analysis of this research, whether you can able to see author's interpretation, and finally you have to ask 3 questions to you. Do you see anything that authors have missed? Do you agree with them? And the last thing is, can you able to solve your problem with the help of their research article? After analyzing these things, you have to move on to the conclusion part. You have to see in the conclusion part whether it is helpful to the results obtained and the experiments made, whether these conclusions are capable to solve the problems of your own. If your problems are not concluded, you may have to go back to the first step, which is the title, introduction, and you may have to read effectively in the part of abstract, which will help you to solve your problem. Let us come to the beginners. Beginners, those who are going to start their research paper by reading the published research papers. How do you read a research paper for beginners? Let us check it out. Steps for reading a research paper. The first thing, you have to check the published date. The published date is very much important in the research article, and also you have to check the citation score. A citation is nothing but the researchers that reviewed their research article how many times. And then the third thing is the introduction part. The first thing, you have to read the introduction, which will give you the complete idea about the research article. And the fourth thing is identify how this research paper fits with the field. So that means how the research paper fits with your research content. And also you have to read the discussion, and finally you have to read the abstract part, and you have to look through the results and the method sections, which will help you to analyze the methods and process of this research. And last thing, you have to write a sufficient summary of the research. In this video, we had learned that how to read a research article and how it will be helpful with your own. So I think it would be helpful to you. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon.